Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sun Drop Cup Series races this season. This week it's at Road America, the first road course of the season. It is the Italian stallion Matty Porta for Sauber Racing Team putting the car on pole and getting himself to start up front for the first road course in the Sun Drop Cup Series. Can he finally break through and take that first victory for Sauber Racing Team in this car? We'll have to wait and see if he can do it here at Road America. With that, the engines are fired, and we are ready for this Road America race. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Menards 300 at the Road America Road Course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Matty Porta and DJ Gibson will be rolling us down, and happy to say that Gibson is ready to be back in a car after his vicious crash that happened at Talladega last season. Thankfully, he is back and ready for this one. Matty Porta, though, on the pole. It's exciting to see the Italian driver on pole at a road course, but another big thing about this race, this is the first Cup co-commentary of the season. Just like the past years, Peter will join me in the booth once again for a Road America race.
Definitely looking forward to get up here into the Cup booth. We saw an absolutely breathtaking Mountain Dew Custom Series race, if you'd like to call it that. Truck race, looking forward to that one as well. But here we have the Cup Series, their first time around this 4-mile road course, America's National Park of Speed, Road America here in Wisconsin. This should be a good one. We got a great field, too. 40 cars, the biggest since Daytona.
This is the good thing. If you remember back to the inaugural Truck Series season, we never really got over 30 entries weekly in that field. But now we have 40 cars. The NSDCA, of course, giving out a ton of free cars to the teams to get these fields up, and we have a full field here today. And the good thing about that, we see some new faces in the field. Mac Johnson rolling off in the 6th position. Matt Sladek rolling off in the 10th position in the 30 car for Shade Burkhardt Racing. And you got Justin Knight back there in that 08 for Sauber Racing Team. He starts 11th, Bobo Jones 13th, and Austin Delgado in 15th.
Joseph Strickland trying to continue his full season campaign there to the right-hand side of Delgado. He'll have the inside for turn 1, so kind of interesting layout here because you're going the other way down into turn 1, so it's going to be the guys starting 2nd, 4th on back. They're going to have the inside for the corner, but if Porta can get a good start, he'll definitely clear to the race lead. But we're coming toward one of the probably the trickiest part of the track, down through these hurry downs here. That's turn 7, down into this hard left-hander, turn 8, and then into the carousel, which is notorious for catching drivers out over the 5 seasons of NSDCA competition.
And we saw in the truck race yesterday a couple guys go off in the carousel. A lot of issues there just trying to get around this corner. And it is a wide sweeping corner. You don't really have a consistent line each time through it. You're trying to stay on that dark black area in the middle of the track. But sometimes you just get too high, clip that grass, you're off into the carousel. Turn 5 and the carousel are the two most treacherous corners on the track. And we'll probably see a lot of drivers getting bit by those areas of the track on the restarts and the starts as we go through this race.
I'd like to go back to the MDCS race, though. We saw Rex in turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, turn 7, turn 14 of all places, the final corner on the track. I don't think we've seen that one before, but if it's a racetrack, these cars will find a way to wreck everywhere. But safety improvements and everything are going to help these drivers out. But nevertheless, let's focus on today. 32 laps of action. Matty Porta lost the race due to lap traffic last year. What can he do this season from the pole?
And he has a few guys around him, not that they aren't road course guys, but they might not have the same equipment that Porta does. After the first ratings day of the season, a lot of drivers getting some much-needed upgrades to their cars, much-needed research and development going on for these teams, and they were able to finally put those additions to the track this weekend. And you're going to see drivers like Porta, a surprise up here in William Duncan in that 3rd position, and an R&D Buscher Gatorade Motorsports 01 starting this race from the 3rd position. Couple road course guys up in this top 10. You also see Tib Foster back there. Sure to be exciting seeing these guys go down maybe 3 and 4 wide into turn 1.
But as we head through the final corner, headed up the hill to take the green flag here in the Menards 300, Matty Porta, DJ Gibson leading them down.
Porta and Gibson out in front. You got William Duncan, Colton Lane right behind him, and behind Lane, his teammate for this weekend, Mac Johnson, in the number 95. A lot of drivers in this field are ready to go racing, and we are ready at Road America. 32 laps. It's going to be a long one. Get ready to sit back and enjoy some road racing. Green flags in the air, and we are racing at the Menards 300.
Drivers getting aggressive here early. That's the 95 peeking out. Mac Johnson from the 6th starting spot, trying to make it 3 wide there for 3rd. Porta can't clear Gibson into 1. They're going to be side by side back down the hill toward turn 3.
Porta right there, though, a big run off of the corner. We saw in the truck race as well that outside line was able to carry momentum through turn 1 on the start of the race. William Duncan dropping back, and you see 3 by 3 coming down here. Now, this is the scariest part of the course. You're already 2 by 2. You're heading down into a hard braking zone in a pack. Be sure to watch. Probably at the back, you'll see a ton of contact heading down into turn 5.
They got caught out on lap 1 of the NSDCS race. What can they do here as they come through? We'll get a flyby. Everybody trying to get through. Bauer's getting jacked up, and they go around. Burkhart's around. Goforth's around. But they're going to get it up. Onjek getting more damage as well as a 0-7. Brady Burkhart lost the most in that, and no caution is out. Porta remains in the lead, but that's scrambled up the running order here early.
And yeah, you're going to see Peter Onjek, the Menards 44, just is in the back, and it's dangerous to be in the back here into turn 5. As we said on the opening laps, you just stack in. You're 3 and 4 wide, trying to hit the braking zone, and these cars, the braking really just sucks on stock cars. You can't really hold it down and make a consistent line, so it's hard to slow down, and at the back of the pack, you just stack in. It's heartbreaking to see your race decided early here, but hey, we saw in the truck race, a couple damaged trucks were able to play some strategy late in the race, get themselves to the front, but Porta now pulling away in that 25 over Gibson, Lane, Foster, and Mac Johnson.
So Matty Porta doing what he does best, leading at the road course. Obviously, like we've mentioned before, can he put it together for a whole race today? DJ Gibson is back finally. He's pretty inexperienced. This is his first race weekend being in a cup car, so what he's doing now is pretty good. Don't remember him even being exceptional at the road courses before this anyways.
Battle for 3rd starting to heat up. Tip Foster looking to the inside of Colton Lane. And looking at that, Tip Foster already gained a spot on Mac Johnson, most likely on William Duncan out of anyone because Johnson's still behind him. But Duncan trying to fight his way back up, just going across the line, making sure we're all green. And a handful of drivers going in because they have that damage from that opening stack up. But the good thing about Road America here, the damage might cost you running this race, but you will not fall a lap down. This track is so big, you won't fall a lap down, and with as many cautions as we see on the road courses, they could still have a chance at fighting in this one, but they're going to have to go repair those cars. Top 5 single-filed out, and actually most of the front group starting to get single-filed out. There's Joseph Strigley, Dylan Young in the 75 this weekend, as well. You got Matt Sladek, Larry Hagan, and there's last week's winner, Dusty Neal at Memphis.
As they come down here toward turn number 5, some action here early on, but you've seen it throughout all the other Road America races that they can fight throughout this whole race.
And these road course races are exciting. The fans love going to Watkins Glen, love going to Road America, to Mosport, and looking further back down, he almost getting to the inside of Burkhart. But there you see a lot of the drivers have torn their stuff off, but it looks like Peter Onjak and Zach Rogers have both retired their cars, just too much damage. And when you're coming around here in a damaged car, you probably just don't want to tear it up anymore. Heartbreaking for the Menards team. They're not going to finish their Menards 300. But Porta out in front, Gibson going to run it wide and into the grass coming off of the carousel, but they're now starting to heat up in a battle. Back there for 7th, Morris, Bowers, and Curtis, and Bobo Jones.
Got a good battle here. DJ Curtis obviously had a good start to the season, the first 2 races, almost won both of them. Kind of went quiet from races 3 and 4, but now he's back up here in the top 10. Carson Bowers has had some good runs as well in that number 25. Bobo Jones, is this his first cup start this season, or did he run the Sundrop 500?
I do not believe Bobo... Yes, he did run one race this season. The Sundrop 500 was most likely the race that he ran for that 95 team, I'm pretty sure. But the 95 has had a different driver each week here for Monster Motorsports. But exciting to see Bobo back out here, especially not really the road ringer you guys think you guys would... name right off the bat, but he is very good at road races. And Carson Bowers' car is just going to expire coming across the line. An engine failure on the 25 as they're trying to get around him behind. And Strigley's going to get into the back of him.
Oh, man, Srigley, I don't know what that move was. Dylan Young looked like to avoid that, but a hard hit for that 63 team deep into the gravel, and that might be our first caution of the day.
We're going to look back and see if the caution is out, and yes, it is. Carson Bowers heartbreaking there on Giotto. Not off to a good start. Tip Foster up here, though. But right now, Matty Porta leads. They're going to be able to race their way back around as Porta is out in front, and that's going to help guys like Carter Freeze and Cody Goforth. Austin Delgado, Matthew Eves, Riley Spurlington were caught up in that early incident. Strigley still in the gravel trap as we look through the field. They're going to be 3 wide heading down into turn number 5.
Big move there on the 29. Alex Beniaco, can he make it work racing back? No, he's going to lay back and give the position back to the 23 and the 57. New look there for the 65, Stephen Wallace Jr., that pink car. Pretty nice. And we got trouble there in the back, turned around. Is going to be the 82, Jacob Edson. Not too much damage, gets it back, gathered up, but he can't be happy about that one.
It looks like Casey Mears got into him as they were racing back around. And as we said, turn 5, one car is off. It's Matty Porta almost into the wall, but he saves it. Gibson's going to be the race lead. Here comes Foster down to the inside into the kink. That's a scary place to be making a bunch of passes. But Foster's going to clear into second. Porta went off at the carousel. Did not hit anything, thankfully, for that team. But now he has to gather it back up as everyone's rushing around him back to the line.
That's not going to help Porta's confidence any. He's already under the pressure from probably his team, probably his fans. Can he ever get that race win once again? And it's already gotten to him here early. But long race, there's time to make it up.
A lot of cars had some crazy stuff happening on that start of the race. We're going to have to rack them back up for a restart, but it's going to be DJ Gibson leading his first lap, coming back in his first race. He's going to lead a lap and lead us down across the line. Gibson will lead us back to the caution. Foster up to second. The Colton Lane into third, fourth, Mac Johnson, fifth now, Porta, as they drag race back for sixth between the Butcher Gatorade Motorsports guys. Rest of the field coming on around. We'll see if there was any more incidents further back in the pack. It does not look like it. But we are now under caution for the first time today here at Road America, and we'll save you guys some of the heartache of waiting about 4 minutes on this pace lap. We'll go ahead, get you the replay, and then skip ahead to any pit stops if they happen here 4 laps in to the Menards 300. So coming down into turn number 5 on the opening lap, everyone trying to get through. Brady's going to run into the back of Goforth as they stack up. He gets turned by Dylan Young. Onjack really was just a sandwich in there with Zach Rogers as well. Burkhart gets spun around. The 07 is hitting. They're 3 and 4 wide coming up the hill into turn 6. But turn 5, just a trouble corner here at Road America. You're going to expect that all race long.
So coming up the hill, Carson Bowers sees his Dodge engine expire. Oil covering this front stretch. Joseph Strigley doesn't know where to go. Bowers trying to pull out of the way, and Strigley runs into the back of him, loses control, hits the outside wall, Judd out there, so big hit for the 63, but he scrubs all that speed off into the gravel trap, but his day probably done. He might get a tow back. He might be able to continue, but a lot of damage to that 63. I don't think he's going to be able to do much today, and Bowers obviously out with an expired engine.
Final incident coming back to the caution. Edson heading down into turn 5. Casey Mears drives right in and is just going to get into the back and spin out that 82. Get some damage hitting the side of it, but hopefully they'll be able to buff that out under pit stops under this caution. But Edson, Mears, Bowers, Strigley, and more all torn up here on the opening laps at Road America. Hopefully the rest of this race will be a bit calmer as we go back and get you guys ready for pit stops.
Welcome back to the action here in the NSDCA. We've got DJ Gibson leading a whole train of cars down the pit lane. I think that might be everybody in this field coming down and getting their service here early. 32 laps, so we're probably going to see probably at least 2 pit stops, if not more. I'm not sure how much wear these guys are going to have, but it's Gibson leading over Foster, Lane, Johnson, and Porta, who slipped down to 5th. But the pit signs coming down. What service do these guys take? 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires? We'll have to wait and see.
In the truck race, it looked like the fuel window was about 8 to 9 laps, meaning we could end up seeing 3 pit stops or more this race, which should be good for these road course guys to get out there. And it looks like 2 tires for a majority of the field. Contact is DJ Gibson 2 years in a row. He's involved in a Road America pit road issue. The 20 team and 01 going 4 tires there. Porta is going to be mired back in traffic, but he might have the tires to move on up. It's going to be very difficult, especially being at the back of the course, especially heading down into turn 5. That could cost him big time in that number 20 car. But out in front, Gibson, Foster, Mac Johnson, Morris, Bobo Jones, Larry Hagan, and the rest of these guys taking 2 tires, but Matty Porta and others taking 4 as William Duncan's going to spin out the O2 of Sam Picard.
Well, we know somebody's not going to be happy about that, but Picard, he's going to get stuck in the gravel. Oh, that's huge.
And man, whatever happened there, something's not happy between Duncan and Picard from pit road or from an incident later. They haven't even been around each other, so we'll have to see what happened there, if there was anything that led to that. But Sam Picard was having a good race. He was going to be up front with that tire strategy. He's been towed back to pit road. They'll have to clean the gravel out of it. Joseph Strigley, they got the tow back. He will be 1 lap down, but they're going to try to repair that 63, get him back out, try to pick up some spots. But Sam Picard gets turned by William Duncan coming back to take the 1 to go. We'll go ahead and get a replay of that and then bring you guys back to the action for the restart here at the Menards 300.
Well, coming off of pit road under the Briggs and Stratton sign, Picard just pacing around, Porta trying to get past, Duncan trying to get past, and Picard just told his line, doesn't know where he needs to go, and Duncan just gets into the back of him. It's just probably a miscommunication from spotters or something, and poor Picard, nothing of his doing, he's going to get stuck in the gravel and have to get towed out.
Back live here at the Menards 300. DJ Gibson in the race lead. Tib Foster second. Mac Johnson third. Fourth, Brandon Morris. Fifth, Bobo Jones. Colton Lane, Larry Hagan, Jay Jefferson, the 75 of Dylan Young, and the 08 of Justin Knight. That is your top 10, as they, of course, are going to stack up coming back to the restart here, but they will form up as they head up the hill. DJ Gibson in the race lead, leading in his first race back after injury. Glad to see that, but you got 2 hungry road course guys behind him. Tib Foster, Mac Johnson, second and third. Morris, Bobo Jones, your top 5. Coming back to take the green flag, lap 6 of 32. Green flag's back in the air. We are racing, and they are fanning out 2, 3, and 4 wide as Jefferson is slow on the front straightaway.
Well, that's tough for the 48 team, but you got Bobo Jones, Dylan Young. You got some Chevys being aggressive here. That's Diego Yepes back there as well, but they're not going to get too much run on the inside. Outside getting bigger runs. Looks like, I think we're going to be clean there in turn 1, thankfully. It's DJ Gibson still leading. Larry Hagan trying to get some spots as they fan out through turn 3. They're 3 wide back there. Some teammates, although they're on different teams. Colton Lane, Bobo Jones, both a part of the Monster Motorsports Development Program, fighting there. Mac Johnson battling a veteran, Brandon Morris, here side by side for 3rd place. Coming down into 5. Can Foster make a move on Gibson? No, he will not.
Going to take a quick flyby through turn 5. We'll have that, and Justin Knight gets cleaned out by Matty Porta. That's a teammate. The 72 sideways, but it looks like a much cleaner run through turn 5 that time. Jefferson has brought it down pit road. He's going to be back out. Will not lose a lap, so that's better for Jefferson. But all battle for the race lead, Gibson versus Foster out in front, and Tib is not letting this 53 go.
Foster trying to turn his luck around after what was a horrible season going so far after Daytona. Obviously got his luck got the win at Daytona after getting by the lap car successfully, but after that it has been crash, and poor strategy for that 40 car. So Foster trying to turn that around, with Gibson trying to turn his luck around in his return as well.
And we've seen a lot of injuries in the NSDCA, but no one has ever won in the first race back from injury. DJ Gibson in the race lead, Foster second, Morris up to 3rd, and then it's Monster Motorsports' 95 and 05. 4th and 5th as we got a battle. Foster looked to the inside. I don't think he's going to have it coming off of the corner. Just going back up. Big hit for DJ Curtis and Gatlin Downey, and caution will be back out here at Road America again as Gibson and Foster fight away in this front lead, and here comes Foster looking to the inside.
Gibson ran it wide. It's going to be a drag race up the hill. Here comes Foster versus Gibson. Gibson got a bigger run off the corner. I think he's going to have it. Foster trying to use that Dodge power up the hill. Can't quite get there. It's going to be DJ Gibson leading a close race back.
And DJ Curtis just got blasted. That car is torn up. We have to hope that he is okay after that incident there. Sam Picard's still on pit road. Gatlin Downey must have also gotten a piece of it. And it looked like if it happened anywhere, that would have been the carousel, because we did not see any incidents in 5. And usually you'll hit pretty hard into the carousel tire barrier. Good thing, though, for Jay Jefferson in the 48. He had an issue on that restart. He got right back onto pit road and repaired it, so he will stay on the lead lap and will be able to catch back up to the field. But 2 crashes early are going to bring us to the second caution of the day. Big hit for DJ Curtis, and Gatlin Downey as well taken out of this one. We're getting down into turn 5. The first thing that sparks this, Justin Knight slowing down. Porta trying to get through the field quick, dives it in. Might have got a push from Neal, but it runs into the back of the 08 of Justin Knight. And now you see as they're coming up through here, they are 4 wide, heading through 6 and coming up into 6 through 6 and now coming towards 7. DJ Curtis in the 5. They're 4 wide. Rose and Downey get forced out, and they're going to hook together. And Curtis head on into the tire barriers. A vicious hit for DJ. Good thing, though, he hit the tires and not a concrete wall that he could have hit. But that car is destroyed. He is done, and they are trying to get him out of that wrecked race car. Gatlin Downey also taken out in this event.
DJ Curtis coming into turn 5 here as you see Justin Knight get turned around by his teammate, trying to get through the madness. He does, but that puts him 4 wide. Jacob Rose this weekend going for bad worse in this accident. They come 4 wide up under the Corvette bridge into turn 6. Downey trying to get an advantage. Curtis trying to carry the speed up here. They're going to get together behind him. Back into Curtis, who goes turned around and bang hard into the tire barriers. You see the engine nearly getting ripped out of the car there too, but Curtis, he climbed out under his own power, so hopefully there's nothing lingering there.
So we're under caution for the second time today here at Road America. Rose, Downey getting together, tearing up into DJ Curtis. Big hit for DJ. We'll bring you guys back to the action here at the Menards 300 after these words from our sponsors. Back live here at Road America. Some drivers coming down for some more pit stops. A lot of guys from the back, but a few from the front. Morris, Jones, and Johnson being some of them that were in the top 10, as well as Dylan Young. They're coming down. It looks like a fuel-only pit stop for these guys. A couple guys coming in for some damage repairs, but it looks like it's fuel-only for most of this field. Coming on in, trying to top it on off. It is 8 laps around here, about 32 miles of a fuel tank here for the Cup Series that like they had in the trucks. But Morris, they tried to repair that car. A lot of guys coming back out. They're going to be at the back, but a lot stayed on the track, including Gibson, Foster, Lane, Hagan, and Murray, your top 5. We'll get you guys back to the action here at the end of this pace lap for the Menards 300.
As we come through the kettle bottom section of the track, you see leaving the kink. We come back here. It's probably the most remote area of the track for these fans out here on the backside. You got the creek on the other side of those trees there, on the other side of that Armco. But kind of the corner, big braking zone. A lot of fans up on that hill. Definitely a track the fans love because you can basically walk around nearly the whole track and see these beautiful cars race around here, many different angles. But Foster looks like he's got some side damage now in that 40. Not sure where that came from, but DJ Gibson still leading. Colton Lane there is up to 3rd. Hagan is 4th, and Austin Murray 5th for that 91 team.
Matty Porta, after getting into the back of Knight, he is up to 6th. Neal 7th. Yepes 8th. Ryan Butcher 9th. Matt Sladek, who just missed out on the race win last year, going wide in the carousel. He rolls off in the 10th position there in that 30 car. DJ Gibson out in front, trying to hang on and win this one. Foster 2nd, Lane 3rd, Hagan in 4th, and Murray 5th. Porta, Neal, and a bunch of road course guys still in this event. A handful of drivers out of this one, including Curtis and Downey from the last incident, but we are coming back to take the green flag. Gibson out in the race lead. Green flag is back in the air here at the Menards 300 at Road America.
As they come down toward turn 1 once again, Lane's looking to the inside. Dusty, Neal, Matt Sladek looking way further on the inside back there. They come into 1. Gibson clear of everything. Can Lane get by Foster there for 2nd? They're 3 wide behind him. We'll have to see. Can they keep it clean? Looks like they will.
Somehow these guys keep it clean usually through 1 and 2, but turn 5 is the trouble area down here, as well as Murray's going to go off and touch some of the grass. Some contact there between Stephen Wallace Jr. Ryan Butcher, but we're going to have to look again as they head down into turn number 5, as we will see if they can make it cleaner enough through this corner. The top 5 getting single filed out. Gibson trying to pull away from Tib Foster, drivers who's won here before, and Foster right into the back of the 53.
What was that, Tib? They threw it away there. That's heartbreaking. Dylan Young's turned around. Anjado just getting absolutely messed up in this race. Delgado held up too. Icing on the cake for them. Is that a caution? No, it is not. But Gibson with the damaged rear end back out front. He's got a good gap now to the 0-5 of Lane.
And we came into this weekend thinking Foster, you know, he loves the road courses. He's so fast here. There's some heavy damage to the front of that. But with how many cars are getting torn up from that front end, you see Carter Friesen, he's still fighting. He has no rear end on that car. And even Matthew Eves, not really a road course guy. He's still inside this top 15. So it might not be too done for Foster. We're still early on in this event, 9 of 32 complete, though it feels like it's been forever. But that probably will throw away any shot Tip had getting down in there. It's so hard to break down for turn number 5, and Gibson now with some rear end damage. We'll see if that will affect him as Colton Lane throws a big dive into Canada corner.
Getting really aggressive there as they come up to Billy Mitchell Bend here, turn 13, this sweeping corner here. Lane really starting to put the pressure on the other white, black, and red car, but it is a Ford. He drives a Chevy. Can Lane get there? We'll have to see. Can he set anything up for turn 1? But he's got Dusty Neal pressuring behind. Hagen ran a little bit wide. Here comes Porta, side by side for P4.
And Porta, you know he's hungry. Foster, a hungry road course racer, but so is Matty Porta, looking back, seeing that 40 team better bring that car down pit road. No, they aren't. There's some incidents down here. Someone's around. It looks like Carter Friesen in the 85 might have gone around. Does that bring out a caution for us? No, it does not, so we'll get a replay on your screen on the next break. But we're going to go back up front here as now Colton Lane all over the back of Gibson. He loses it into turn 3.
So the 61 of Riley Spurley too pitting there as well. I'm not sure if he had an issue or anything, but here we go. Side by side through turn 4, the Moraine sweep underneath the Sargento Bridge. It's going to be Dusty Neal taking the spot for P2.
We've seen a lot of battles on this track today. It's been not very many green flag laps, but we are seeing some battles. Looking on through here, hoping maybe if they can just make it through here, they should be home free. And with a lot less drivers up here as Bobo Jones gets into the back of Jefferson, a lot of drivers slowing up there. This is going to be the trouble spot. Strigley into the back, and there goes the 23 around of Jacob Rose. Slides sideways. He's going to continue on. Just checking. No caution for that. We're going to have some green flag laps here at Road America.
Here we go. Some guys up here, top 5, top 10, are close. They come out of this Johnsonville-Speedville Bridge now through the carousel. DJ Gibson leading. Dusty Neal, Colton Lane. What can these guys do? Can they catch? Will they wait to the next pit cycle? When will be the next pit cycle? So some of these guys stayed out after pitting on what, like lap 2? So they might have to come in here on like lap 13 or so. So we'll have to see. This whole order is going to be jumbled up, and I think it's going to be what strategy you play when the cautions come out and not being one of the cautions.
That's an important thing, not being one of the cautions. Got Joseph Strigley torn up back here. Justin Knight's going to have to fight his way back up. Looks like Rose, that was some damage to that 23, but not too much. The O2's back here. I saw KT Larson actually pit on the restart, so there must have been a flat tire or something on that car. Dylan Young's back there. Riley Spurley tube as well. But DJ Gibson hanging on out in front. He's going to bring it on in now in that 53. That rear end might be acting up. Give the lead now to Dusty Neal in the Cloud Foster Racing Operations 94. These guys pit on lap number 4. The fuel can probably last till lap 12 if they did not come in under that last caution. So we'll see if we do get some green flag racing, possibly some green flag pit stops.
Dusty Neal, I think he was last week's winner at Memphis, now up here at Road America. He's known for his short track prowess, not up here at the road courses, but you saw in the NSDCS race, the FRO did have the race lead. You saw how that ended there. Neal trying to see if he could hold it for the rest of this one, but it's going to be a hard task because there's like 22 laps to go. I think he's just got to run his race, time it out how he wants it, because right now he's in control.
Colton Lane and Hagen right there. Hagen getting up to the back of that 05, right on the back of him into turn 5. And even with just one car in front of you, your braking zone could be taken out. You're going to have to try to see through them to get there. And Porta now up in 4th. These top 4 are just under a blanket racing after each other. Neal's going to go wide, a bit wide there, but coming through into the carousel. Neal is going to stay in that race lead, but Lane and Hagen are coming.
Down into turn 8, Hagen looking right there on Lane, possibly to the outside of the carousel. I'm not too confident in that move. It'll really have to work that throttle, keep it on the track.
He's going wide, just taps the grass there. We've seen a lot of guys just kind of tap the grass coming through the carousel. As long as you don't get hooked into the grass, you should be fine, as that's going to give Matty Porta that 3rd position. He was messed up by Justin Knight under that last race back to the caution. Hagen is going to get a run coming off of the kink. We haven't seen that often. You really don't see battling through the kink. The inside line lets go, but Hagen is right back on him down here into the Canada corner.
Move by Larry Hagan, last season's MDCS winner. He's going to try and get third as they are tight for the race lead. Lane to the inside through 13. Can he get there? No.
He almost got into Neal coming through there. Looking at the back, Justin Knight might have had an issue. We're just making sure. Tim Foster, that car is damaged up. They repaired it. They tore the hood off. That's probably more aerodynamic than a big hunk of metal in your face, so hopefully he'll be able to continue, but that might put him off cycle, which could give him some strategy. Matthew Eves coming down pit road now. Did anyone else come down pit road in front of him? No. Hagan now into second as Lane went wide through those final two corners.
Strategy all over these plays. These guys trying to try something else as they can. As yes, Hagan up to second, Lane right behind him. Then it's Porta, Murray, Sladek, and that would be Ryan Butcher, I think, in the 83, still up here as well.
That is Butcher in 7th. Diego Yepes up to 8th. He was the inaugural winner here at Road America when he won the race coming across pit road. Behind him, Sebastian Kukulon, Alex Beniaco, Stephen Wallace Jr., Zachary DeLello still torn up, but you're seeing through this field here, a lot of guys actually pretty much out of this one right now. A lot of guys really spread out at the back, but we're on lap 12. These guys came in on lap 4 to pit, so we'll be seeing these leaders come in for pit stops soon enough. A few guys stayed out or came in under that last caution to top off on fuel, so they'll be able to run maybe 2 or 3 more laps more, get themselves in the race lead. But Dusty Neal, Larry Hagan, Colton Lane, Matty Porta, Austin Murray sit your top 5.
Dusty Neal trying just to control this race. He finally broke through. He finally got that race win, and now he's out here once again. Hagan, he broke through at Road America last season, and he hasn't looked back since, trying to improve on himself this whole time.
Ryan Butcher down to the inside on Matt Sladek as they battle coming off the carousel into the kink. That's a battle for that 6th and 7th position as they come down now into Canada corner. We'll see if they will pit this time by Dusty Neal, Larry Hagan, Colton Lane, Matty Porta. That top 4 starting to pull away. Neal, we'll see if he pits this time by. That'll put him on cycle, but right now, if you pit here and the fuel window is 8 to 9 laps, you'd have to pit, I believe, 2 more times, or 3 more times actually, to finish this race out, as Dusty Neal, he's going to come on around and he will bring that car down pit road.
So the leader is in. There looks like everybody's going to follow him, at least up here toward the front. Who's going to be first to stay out? Looks like it's going to be the 65 of Stephen Wallace Jr. and Bobo Jones staying out as well. Looks like, I can't even tell who that car was that also stayed out. It had blue on the back bumper. That may have been Mac Johnson, William Duncan. It's William Duncan. Okay. Jacob Edson as well, staying out, trying to play the long game here.
A lot of guys coming on in. Pit road getting busy. You see Riley Spurleytube staying out, Brady Burkhart, Brandon Morris. A few of the guys that came in under that caution staying out here. And these guys at the back as well. There's DJ Gibson. Remember, he was leading early on in this event. But it's Stephen Wallace Jr. in the race lead in that 65 car. In second is the 51 of Bobo Jones. Third, William Duncan. Fourth, Jacob Edson. Fifth, Spurleytube, Burkhart, Morris. And there's Casey Mears. Battle for ninth between the 02 of Sam Picard and the 27 of Cody Goforth. And back here, we got to watch. If you remember, I believe last season we had an incident as these guys came out from pit road. You see, they basically come out into the apex of turn number 1. And if you're not expecting it, if you're coming up on these guys thinking you could pass them, there might be some contact as we fly through the field. Stephen Wallace Jr., Bobo Jones, William Duncan, your top 3 as they come off now back down into turn 8 in the carousel.
Duncan, he obviously failed inspection in the MDCS race, kind of heartbreaking, but he was able to salvage as much as he could. I think after everything was said and done, he was okay with how he ended up. As let's take a look back, Stephen Wallace Jr., he's had some good runs here in the Cup Series, but he hasn't been able to put it together for a whole race. Out front once again here to the early to middle stages. How long will he stay out here toward the top?
Hopefully he can stay up front. Before that pit stop, everyone came down to pit. He was running inside the top 10, so that's Sweet Frog 65 looking to do good this weekend. Came up 1 position short at Memphis last week. And right now, if you do not come in this time by, you might run out of fuel. So expect all these front guys who did stay out, they will be coming in this time by because you pretty much have to. Stephen Wallace Jr. in the race leads. Second is Bobo Jones in that 51. Bobo's going to stay out. Did he come in under that last pit stop? He and Duncan both staying out, so they could be trying. Maybe they saved some fuel under all those cautions.
I think they did. I think they did stay out or pit at the last caution, because I remember Duncan being in the pit lane not too long ago. I think other guys like Brandon Morris and them were on pit road at that time. So Bobo Jones trying to play the long game, but gotta think if a caution were to come out now, all these guys will still have to pit, and they'll be right in the back of the field once more.
That's the strategy you got to worry about. We're looking here. There's the few guys that came in. Riley Spurleytube, Cody Goforth, and Stephen Wallace Jr. all in. There is the first guy in line, Dusty Neal. He's holding over Ethan Head. We'll see. I believe Head's on the lead lap, so right now that's pretty good. He did come in to repair some damage in that 61, so he is right there. There's Larry Hagan. There's Gibson. He's going to lose some time with that strategy on pit road. He's fallen back now to the clutches of Colton Lane. Diego Yepes trying to work his way around the Smart Motorsports entry. There's Austin Delgado. I believe he came in already, not in this cycle, under caution for damage repair. But a lot of guys there. Mac Johnson's falling back. Tip Foster's back in the swing of things. He might be a lap or two short on fuel, or a lap or two behind these guys on fuel and tires, but it shouldn't cost him too much. You see Jefferson freezing back there as we cycle through the field. Those are the guys up there. But Bobo Jones, William Duncan, and Jacob Edson, your top three, as they were able to play some strategy, get out in front.
My apologies, by the way. I did not realize it was Ethan Head in the 61 this week. I said it was Spurleytube when he came down for his damage repair early. But this top three, who would have thought it'd be these guys leading this race? I mean, Bobo Jones, William Duncan, they're good on these road courses, but these are some of the slowest cars we've seen out of the start of this Sun Drop Cup Series season. The 01 is an R&D car. The 51 for Johnson Performance is having a whole rotation of drivers. They've had, I think, 5 different drivers in the first 5 races this season, and Jacob Edson has just had horrible luck to start his season. But right now, where they've all cycled out, they're the top 3. And do they bring it in this time?
See if they do bring it in this time. They pit, I believe, about 2 laps later than those guys, and they will in. Bobo Jones, William Duncan, Edson's going to bring it on in. Here's Brady Burkhart, your points leader by a good margin, 26 points over Carter Friesen, and Friesen right now has issues. Burkhart and Morris in the front. They're going to stay out an extra lap. Mears is going to come on in. Picard is going to bring that 02 on in. KT Larson might be up here inside the top 5 in her debut, but Dusty Neal is right there, chasing him down. Larry Hagan, DJ Gibson. But we're going to go out in front because the Toyota boys, Burkhart and Morris, out in front now here at Road America. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break as Burkhart's going to go wide, bring guys back to the action probably when this field cycles around, but if there is a caution, we will come back right away. 15 to 32 complete here at Road America for the Menards 300. Burkhart, Morris, and more out in front trying to play the strategy. Back live here at the Menards 300. DJ Gibson just went wide in the final corner. It's going to get him off the back of Hagan and allow Cody Smart, Colton Lane, Diego Yepes to catch on up. Morris, Burkhart, and I believe one more driver came on in back there, if we could see him on pit road as they come by. Ethan Head, who would have been second when they cycled out. Colton Lane fighting there. But now it's Dusty Neal back in the race lead. Larry Hagan in second. And last week in Memphis, Hagan had a car to beat as well. But the Tip Foster went for no tires on pit road, hoping for a quick caution right after that. Did not happen, and he dropped like a rock, holding Larry Hagan up. Now he is in second, trying to chase down last week's winner, Dusty Neal, that 94 car out in front. Cody Smart up to third. I believe that's pit strategy. They came down to repair that car, so he is off cycle. But DJ Gibson, Colton Lane, Diego Yepes, Stephen Wallace Jr., Austin Delgado, Austin Murray, and Ryan Butcher right into the back of the 91. But I believe that is your top 10 right there. Porta, Sladek, and Benyako just outside of that. Dusty Neal heading through turn 8 into the carousel now as he's trying to hang on out in front. Larry Hagan back in second. Third, Cody Smart. Fourth, DJ Gibson. Fifth, Colton Lane. Yepes in sixth. Wallace Jr. seventh. Delgado up to eighth. And that's great to see for Reed Racing. Their team has had a lot of heartbreak. They might even go negative depending on how this race ends up as one car's in the grass. That's Larry Hagan who goes wide just like a TSR driver yesterday. He's going to keep it out of the wall though in this 21 as Stephen Wallace Jr. on the back of him heading through the kink down into Canada corner.
A big save there for the 21, Larry Hagan, and yeah, Delgado putting together a decent run for Reed Racing. Reed's team has just been up and down, and as they've been banking on Cup success, and right now they're not doing too bad, but still a long race left to go, as I think we are just about to hit halfway.
Coming around to lap number 17 here. Out in front, Dusty Neal. Caution is out. Neal is going to lead us back around, but caution is out right after pit stops. One car is on pit road. Ethan Head is still on pit road. One car, Brady Burkhardt, is damaged up, and it looks like Riley Spurleytube as well. Heavy damage to the 79. So a couple incidents here as one car goes wide again. That was Matty Porta coming back to the line. We have a caution here right after pit stops. So we had a nice green flag run, but Dusty Neal's going to have to go right back, try to hang on over Cody Smart and the rest. This is great for the 72 team. They play the strategy. They're going to be up front. So will SWJ. So will Delgado. So a lot of guys who had damage, who were coming in to repair that damage, will be inside this top 10. Neal's going to lead them around, but we will go ahead, take a quick look, see what happened to bring out the third caution of the day here at Road America. Coming down off pit road, Brady Burkhardt already has some damage from being run into by the 55, and Riley Spurleytube's going to come on in, tries to tuck in behind Burkhardt, but is just going to get into the back of him and sends Burkhardt into the gravel in turn 1. He spins off. Spurleytube is well rent around, it seems, in that 79, but Burkhardt was trapped in the gravel. Spurleytube hooked by Jacob Edson, or Jacob Rose possibly coming across there as well, but we'll take a look at that incident as well. But 2 cars involved in this one for the third caution of the day. Let's take another replay of this.
Tough luck here for Riley Spurleytube here today. Coming into turn number 1, Brady Burkhardt there on the inside, leaving the pit lane. Spurleytube misjudges it, not on the racing line, and pushes Burkhardt out, frustrated, blocks it down, tries to get the car righted, but he's going to get into the gravel here, wash his tires out, lose traction, slide right into those tire barriers. So more damage for the 79 team of Evernham. But we'll have to see if Spurleytube can limp it around and finish this one out.
Coming back around, pit strategy going off already. We had some cars come in under that green flag stint. Larry Hagan is going to stay out in that 21, but Dusty Neal and the rest of the field is coming on in. We're going to see if Hagan will be the only one staying out. Porta's going to stay out. Looks like Sebastian Kukulon, Zachary DeLello also staying out. It's only been, I believe, like 2-3 laps maybe since they came in. Actually, it's been pretty good margin, about 5 or 6 laps since they came in. So Hagan, Porta, Kukulon, DeLello trying some strategy there. There's an incident on pit road between Stephen Wallace Jr. and Casey Mears getting into it. We're going to take a look at some of the leaders, especially DJ Gibson, as he comes down to the attention of his 53 Zachary Racing Team crew. There's Tip Foster, William Duncan, but Dusty Neal's going to be out first. Colton Lane back there. Looks like he will be the second one out. Alex Benyako, Jacob Edson picking up some spots. So some strategy being played on pit road for sure. Looks like some go 4 tires, some go for 2. Maybe some went for none. But we will go ahead, bring you guys back to the action here at Road America, the Menards 300, right after this. Back here at the Menards 300 at Road America, we are going back racing lap 19 to 32, so we are over halfway. About 13 laps to go. Hagan, Porta, Kukulon, DeLello stayed out. Neal, Lane, Edson, Benyako. A lot of that front group came in for fuel only. Most of the back half behind Gibson came in for 4 tires. But Hagan, Porta, Kukulon lead us down. Green flags back in the air. We're racing once again here at Road America.
Dusty Neal getting aggressive there early, trying to make up that spot, trying to get back into that race lead. 3 wide, coming here into 1. Kukulon up here now, probably for the first time today. Neal, what can he do on the inside? Not too much, as Hagan feeling the pressure from Porta. 1 car wide back there. That's Austin Murray rejoining. You got to be careful there, but they're going to make it through.
Ooh, Dusty Neal really messed up that corner. He's into the grass in that number 94, going to the wide angle shot. Turn 5, sorry, is going to be the trouble corner once again. Of course, it's always like that here at Road America, so we will see if there are any incidents coming down here into this corner. Hagan and Porta out in front. They have pulled away. They have launched away as the rest of the field's going to come on through. Kukulon, DeLello there. Benyako moves lane. Rest of the field, Gibson's around. Sladek's in it. Morris is in it too. They all spin. We'll see if that brings out a caution. No, it does not. Turn 5 seems to be a very cautionless corner. They just know. I guess the NSDCA just knows what's going to happen down there. But Hagan, Porta out in front, side by side, was for 3rd between DeLello and Kukulon. Edson back there in 5th. Alex Benyako moving his way up into the top 10.
Goes Benyako up side by side with Lane through turn 8. What can they do? Is Benyako going to get clear by the time they get into the carousel? Yes, he will.
Nice and clear there for that 29. Out in front, though, is Larry Hagan. These guys are really gambling with fire here. The guys that stayed out last time by. Kukulon, DeLello, Porta, and Hagen, they could be having to come in just 2, 3, maybe 4 laps time before they have to come in again, and would lose them this race up front. But Edson now, he is the first driver that came in down pit road. He's up in that 5th position. Benyako 6th, Neal back to 7th, Bobo Jones 8th, Colton Lane 9th, Cody Smart in 10th as they head into Canada corner.
Austin Murray making a move there as they're going to fake out the damaged car. Matthew Eves, big move there by the 0-2 underneath the 0-1 and 47. That was a massive move by Sam Picard there, as now he sets his sights on his teammate there right ahead of him.
Sam Picard, though, is multiple laps down from that incident in the gravel pit as Eves is going to go wide again, and there they come on in. DeLello is on in. Caution is out, I believe. Yes, it is. Ethan Head on pit road. Stephen Wallace Jr. has been on pit road this whole time, but now that's might be a saving grace for Hagen and Porta. They will be able to pit this time by. Maybe others will pit as well. But DeLello entering, I don't know if that's a closed pit violation for DeLello, but we'll have to see. A lot of torn up cars here at Road America. It's a road course and it's a long race, so of course it's going to be a race of attrition. But another caution here. Ethan Head in the 61 goes around here at Road America.
Ethan Head coming down into Canada corner, feeling the pressure there from the 27 of Cody Goforth, trying to get underneath the 1 of Austin Delgado as well. Gets it at Delgado into the Suzuki wall and clips the end of those tire barriers. So Ethan's day might be done. Tough luck there for Hagen Enterprises, but Larry himself is still out there. He'll probably be pitting under this yellow.
Larry Hagen, Matty Porta, Sebastian Kukulon coming in this time. A lot of more drivers coming on in. Some of these guys only went for fuel only. Maybe they're coming in for tires now. We have about 12 laps to go in this race. Probably going back racing with 11 or 10 to go. A good portion of the field coming on down, but Jacob Edson, Cody Smart, Sam Picard is 1 lap down in that 0-2, but William Duncan, Mac Johnson, Matthew Eves, Austin Murray, Casey Mears, Diego Yepes, they are all still on track as you see the rest of the field coming on in further back, but they do come down to the attention of their pit crews. A lot of hoods gone. I think the 65 looks to be slow. I don't know if that's an issue there on that car, but the memorabilia sellers are going to be having a field day after all the sheet metal that's on the track and in the fields alongside Road America is picked up after the race. But Jacob Edson, Cody Smart will be your top 2 leading us back around. We'll get you guys back to the restart here at the Menards 300. Back live at the Menards 300 at Road America. Jacob Edson out in front. 2nd, Cody Smart. Sam Picard, a lap car in between, but William Duncan 3rd, Mac Johnson 4th, and Matthew Eves 5th. As we get ready to go back racing here. William Duncan bringing that car down pit road. Does not look like an issue there. Maybe he's just trying not to tear that car up on pit road and going in for a big strategy call to stay out of the crashes on this opening restart lap. But Edson out in front. We have some kerfuffling going on in the back of the grid. Stephen Wallace Jr. was doing something back there in that 65, but green flag's back in the air. We are racing once again at Road America.
So we got a lap car up here in the mix, Sam Picard. That's going to change some stuff. Edson finally leading a race this season is going to have a clear track into turn 1 over the Smart Motorsports teammates as Eves trying to do what he can there in the 47 in that damaged Dodge. Big hit, Mac Johnson, back across the field, just like we saw in the MDCS race. But that doesn't look as bad as we saw in the MDCS race. But a big pile up there in turn 1. DeLello's out, Sladek is going to be out, and a bunch of cars damaged here on the restart.
And just as we said, we're going to see what Matthew Eves can do. He's going to dump that 95 of Mac Johnson into the wall. 3 wide coming down here. Friesen trying to make a big move back here with a lot of the damaged cars as they're heading into the corner. Jefferson's going to get in and spin out. Brandon Morris and Burkhardt probably not happy with how this race is going. But up in front, Jacob Edson over Cody Smart. That's the battle for the race lead as they're going to race back around. But a heavy hit for the 95 of Mac Johnson as well. A ton of drivers involved in that one as they came back across the field. Tim Foster going crazy in that 40. With how many cars have been damaged up here, Foster is now inside the top 10 in that 40 car. And the fans, they're confused about this race, but the team owners probably looking at their bank account just slipping away. Edson out in front, though. He's kept that car mostly clean as he right now leads.
Cody Smart there in 2nd. Diego Yepes, I think, is 3rd. And then you see behind them, you have Matthew Eves as well, and then Austin Murray. Casey Mears up here in that 07. Yeah. Team owners probably not going to be too thrilled about this one, but attrition really catching out some of these guys with the inexperience of them driving these Cup cars. It's the first road course race ever here in the SDCS.
Coming on through, Matthew Eves looking for some moves. Sam Picard is really going to throw a wrench in these things, but coming back around, Cody Smart tried to swing it wide and try to catch back up on Edson, but coming around, about 10 laps to go this time by. It'll be 2 laps of pace laps, so we will see what'll happen when we go back racing here. But a big hit for Mac Johnson in the 95, who was having such a good day. We have virtually half the field gone in this event. DeLello, Sladek are torn up there. Sladek going through the carousel, heartbreaking for the 30 team. But hopefully with less cars on the track means less carnage in these closing laps. Maybe we can get a green flag stint like the middle of this race. But Edson in first, Smart second, Picard third. We had an incident on the opening lap. We'll go ahead and take a replay of what happened there. So on this opening restart, they're going 3 wide into the corner. Eves is on the inside of Mac Johnson. Mac's trying his best to run up front here, but Eves is just going to slide up, gets into him, and turns him into the tire barriers. Hard hit. Gets hit in the driver's side. Thankfully not too hard. Delgado's going to hit him in the rear, but that 95's day is done of Mac Johnson. Helicopter cam here. Matt Sladek on the inside trying to work his way through it. Johnson just flies back into traffic. He's going to hit. DeLello's in it. Neal tries flying in, but he runs into the side of Jacob Rose. Matty Porta has some damage in that. But a lot of cars torn up in this event here. We'll get one more replay before we go back racing. Final replay will be on Dusty Neal as he was back here trying to work his way past Mac Johnson. He hits Kukulon, which slides him into Rose. That's what that was. But a stack up on this restart brings us to yet another caution of the day. So many cars torn up. DeLello and Sladek really hurt. Their cars really hurt after that one. But Mac Johnson has climbed out of his race car, shaken up, and will be transported to a local medical center for further evaluation. But a heavy hit for Mac Johnson and others as we will go ahead, get you guys back to the restart here at the Menards 300. Back live here at the Menards 300. A lot of torn up race cars after this incident. Larry Hagan with some heavy front end damage to that 21, and they will retire that car as well. Jay Jefferson from that incident into turn 5 is torn up. It's been a long race. A lot of guys coming down pit road, but a few staying out. Cody Smart, Tip Foster, Carter Friesen, Brady Burkhart, DJ Gibson, the ones staying out there, and Burkhart is 1 lap down in that number 99. Rest of the field coming on out. Contact between Duncan and Lane coming off of pit road, but Lane will lead them out, coming back around to take the race back again here at the Menards 300. We'll get you guys back to the action on this restart here at Road America. Back lives here at the Menards 300. 8 laps to go this time by. Those guys that just pit should have enough to make it to the end. The top 4, though, the top 5 that did not pit, including that lap car, Brady Burkhart, they won't be. So they'll have to see. They're probably hoping on more cautions because the safest place you can be on these restarts is out in front. But we saw Matthew Eves turn Mac Johnson. The thing is, turn 5 is the more dangerous area, I'd think, for guys back in the pack, so they might get damaged up. But Cody Smart, Tip Foster, Carter Friesen, your top 3 leading us down, coming to the line.
Up the hill they come. Cody Smart, I don't think he'll be good on fuel. I think everybody that pit will be good on fuel. So Jacob Edson, probably going to be your provisional leader here. That's some damaged cars ahead of the guys that just pit. Here we go. And it's going to be a damaged car trying to make a move on a less damaged car. Foster to the inside of Cody Smart for the provisional lead. Gibson looking aggressive back there too.
Gibson wants to get up there and show the fans that he can get back up there and fight. He has some damage, but really, if you just look at the field, the entire field's damaged up here at Road America. This is probably the most calamity-filled Top Series Road America race we've had, but again, it's a long race. These guys getting aggressive here at the end. Tip Foster now pulling away right behind Cody Smart, but I think that front-end damage might be the thing holding him behind Smart. They're going to head down into turn number 5. We're going to go ahead and, of course, throw the camera right there in turn 5 again. Watch the calamity ensue. Cody Smart out in front, Foster second. Lane looking for a move. Eves is there. Mears is in it. And we're going to get clean. We're going to go clean for the first time through turn 5. Let's hope we can get some green flag racing here to the end then.
That's good to see. That's good to see as he comes down off of turn 6 or the hurry down. Foster still getting up there, trying to get up there with Cody Smart.
Cody Smart out in front. This is the first time he's led a race. He's going wide. First time he's led a cup race. First time he's led a race in a good while in that 72 car. Is now Foster's trying to make a move down around him in through the carousel. In third, Gibson. Carter Friesen's going to go flying off. I think, though, he has enough. Does he have enough time to save it? Yes, he will. So he will get back onto the track, but he's going to lose some time. He did not pit under that last caution, though. So he's going to re-merge about 3 wide with a couple guys there.
A big save there for Carter Friesen. Lucky that he did not totally throw that race car away, but obviously not doing him any favors. He'll likely have to pit still anyways. We got so many cars without hoods, so many beat up cars, but they're just trying to do what they can as we watch Jacob Edson now.
Edson back there, as we said, he might be one of the provisional leaders or provisional top few, as I believe Yepes also came down pit road in that 77. Lane going a bit wide. There they come on in. Foster Smart on in. Burkhardt on in. So the big brain strategy plays are now going to put DJ Gibson into the race lead, though he stayed out under that last caution. We'll see what he will do as he now leads here at Road America, the crowd cheering. Just about 6 laps to go next time by, so we're at lap 7. 7 laps to go here at Road America. Just hoping this race will finish, hopefully clean, with less cars on the grid than we started with. But Gibson, Lane, and Yepes, your top 3 right now at Road America.
Coming into turn 3, Diego Yepes trying to make a move on his driver. Yepes obviously driving for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports now. Lane was taken in along with teammate Austin Johnson after the Mid-South Automotive absolutely collapsed on them. Can Yepes do it? He is a former winner here in season number 1. He won that in some strange circumstances on the pit lane. But now what can he do as he's right up to the back bumper of his driver? Can't quite get there, though. Looking possibly the outside in turn 6.
He's trying for that move. Lane, though, will have the preferred line through there as DJ Gibson continues to lead. Looked like it might have been a bit of a stack up into turn 5 there. Edson has a little bit of front-end damage, but it's much less than the rest of the grid as he's going to go off and into the sand. Neil, go forth. There is Ryan Butcher. It's hard to tell when there's no hood sponsor left on these cars, but we do have just a handful of cup cars left out here. Not many left in this race, so hopefully that means we'll have some clean racing. Lane, though, catching big time to Gibson.
Here we go, the battle of the black, white, and red cars. Once again, like I said earlier in the race, what happens with the kink? Can Lane get up there and draft that 53 down into Canada corner? Kettle bottoms. It's a big, long, sweeping straight here. Does he have anything for him? Into turn 12.
He's looking a little low, but I think he's just going to try to keep it with him. Maybe make a move into turn 1 this time by down the front straightaway or in these final 2 corners as he is right there on the back of the 53. Going wide, and he's looking for that spot. Not going to happen through there, but we'll see if he can carry that momentum down into the final corner and back up this front straightaway here at Road America. Running it wide again. Gibson might be coming in to pit that time. Yes, he will. So the strategy is playing against those guys who stayed out, but maybe they just don't want to tear their cars up anymore. Give the lead to Colton Lane, your defending Mountain Dew Custom Series champion.
Coming down the front straightaway, it's going to be Lane, Yepes, and Eves, your top 3. Matthew Eves, definitely known someone who does like nothing here on these road courses. Is Edson trying to change that 3 wide there into 1, but he's going to back out of it.
Back here, Dusty Neal now fighting Edson for that 5th position as Sam Picard just sits as the lap car in between these guys. Neal just looking for some good points. Came into this race 7th in points after getting 10 with that race win last weekend. He's now inside the top 5. Casey Mears is up here in the top 10. So is Porta. Kukulon, Murray, not Eves. Eves is already far in the top 10. There's Justin Knight, who was in an incident early on. But a lot of cars torn up here. There's Gibson coming back out behind Cody Smart, and it's Colton Lane all in the race lead by himself over Yepes, Eves, and a battle for 4th brewing between Neal and Edson.
They come under the Corvette Bridge into turn 6. Dusty Neal has gotten by Jacob Edson here. They come through the hurry downs. South Point Casino has been a longtime sponsor, longtime supporter of Dusty Neal, and he's provided them some great results. GoDaddy and Jacob Edson have had a long-time partnership as well in that 82. We've got a lot of sponsors associated with these drivers, and it just means so much to them, especially when they're running this good.
And Edson needs a run like this. SBR did not have the luck this weekend that they wanted to. Right now, a lot of their cars torn up. Burkhardt falling back from the points lead probably as they go on around here. But Edson, This season has been atrocious for him. He's 25th in points, so the last 2 races he's gained, but the first 2 were just abysmal. He was 40th in points behind a ton of the one-off drivers from the Sundrop 500 and other tracks like that. Edson now inside the top 5, doing what he needs to do for SBR. Not really known as a road course guy, but that equipment, SBR equipment, you can win anywhere with. Right now he's inside the top 5, or just outside the top 5 maybe, trying to hang on. But Diego Yepes in that 77, does he get up there and pass his Monster Motorsports driver in Colton Lane? We'll have to see coming in to these final, I believe, 5 more laps as they head across the line.
Well, Diego Yepes here is just one of the probably still trying to keep his title of the greatest of all time in the NSDCA. Can he do it? He's hunting down that 05. Colton Lane was promoted to full-time. Although he's not full-time, remember, he still doesn't have a ride for Pocono.
We'll have to see if he can get a ride. He was really good in the points coming into this, but now he's fallen outside into 15th as they run here. But if he can snag a win, that could lock him in for a possible wild card spot if he continues those points. And again, top 10 in the Cup Series make the chase on points with 2 wild card slots, upping the points, upping the chase group to 12. Yepes now, as they come under the Corvette bridge, is hunting his driver in Colton Lane.
Can Diego do it? All of Venezuela, all of South America cheering on that 77. What can they do? Colton Lane, a former champion here. He contended for races here. I don't think he has a win here, though. It'd mean a lot to him if he got one. Lane, not really known for being good on the road courses, but he still is. He is one of the all-around drivers and a top talent in the NSDCA.
As Lane is out in front with just 4 laps to go. Next time by, we'll have to see, does the fuel last? Do the cars last? Morris is off into the gravel. Will he keep it out of the wall? No, he won't. He gets a piece of the wall, but he will continue on. And that is heartbreaking for the Morris. Butcher Gatorade Motorsports duo there. Matthew Eves in 3rd in this 47, hunting him down. Yepes there in the 77. Colton Lane in the 05. Right before the end of this race, we're going to take a 1-second break. Bring guys back to the action here at Road America right after this. Down into turn 1, we have 4 laps to go at Road America. Colton Lane maintaining the race lead in the 05. Diego Yepes in 2nd. Eves 3rd. Sam Picard is the lapper. Dusty Neal 4th. Jacob Edson 5th. Porta up to 6th. Mears 7th. Kukulon 8th. Murray 9th. Bobo Jones 10th. Ryan Butcher has brought that 83 down pit road. And you see, there's not very many cars in this opening group. We'll see if they can hang on. But Colton Lane out in front, beginning to pull away as they head into turn 5. Coming down into 5, he's going to get on those brakes. Yepes, Eves trying to catch up to him as Yepes is going to bring it on down, tries to throw it in, still too far back from Lane. Eves now has Picard all over the back of him. Picard is a lap car. Why is he racing up here? Dusty Neal seems he might have gotten a piece of someone. Edson might have gotten into him. He drops back to 6th as Porta's back up to 5th. Doesn't look like it'll be a race win for Porta this weekend as Yepes into the dirt in turn number 7.
Matthew Eves, the super speedway ace, challenging the outside of Yepes into turn 8. What can he do in that NTT 47? Here, coming into the carousel, Yepes is going to say no thank you, try and get by, but Eves working the bottom, working those apexes, trying to get close to that 77. Off the corner, nose to tail. What happens into the kink?
And he is all over the back of that 77. Sam Picard back there. The lapper is also going to get into the battle, possibly through the kink, but that's allowing Colton Lane to pull away. The Vornado 05. Vornado went to victory lane 5 times last season in a record-breaking season for the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Most wins in a year going to 5 for Colton Lane. Now the Vornado colors back on the car, looking to put himself into the chase, looking to get that ride for Pocono by someone, as Monster Motorsports has basically booked up all the other races for him. But Yepes in 2nd. He's watching his first win in over a year slip away, but why wouldn't he be happy for his driver, Colton Lane, out in front, coming around 3 laps to go at Road America?
I think Yepes is going to be mixed on this. You know, he was so close finally as a driver. He had that year at Shepherd, didn't go too well. Obviously, kind of took himself back, tried to give himself another challenge, but now he joined BGM because he wants to win, and he's just trying to do his best. And now you got more driver versus owner battling there. Matthew Eves and Jacob Edson side by side as they come down into 3.
Ricard has passed Eves. That's probably going to take him out of a chance at a race win. But Edson down on that inside. I think Eves, he wants to see that 82 ahead of him, especially when they are battling for that third position, because Edson really struggling in points this year, but now he's lit a flame under that 82. He's out into the third spot. Colton Lane out in front. 3 laps to go, but remember, a caution will bring us to a green right checkered as Porta is going to dive it on into the back of Eves. He wants a top 5 run. Dusty Neal's back here. Sebastian Kukul on. Casey Mears inside the top 10. All these cars all damaged up, but they are still fighting like they are brand new. They're trying to get up front. There's a couple cars coming on in. Austin Delgado now down pit road.
You know, I think Matthew Eves, just because he's in the top 5 with such a damaged car on a road course of all places, that's probably a win for him. I don't think he's going to think too much about this, think too much about what's happened in some of his other cars. I think he's going to think about how good it has been for a driver so far. And he's got his teammate there, Dusty Neal, as well, right behind him. Could take him out of that top 5, but I think he'd be fine with that too. Eves just making it to the end of what has been such a chaotic race, I think is going to be a victory for him.
Cloud Foster Racing Operations got that win last weekend at Memphis, and now they are back inside battling for top 5 positions as they run. Colton Lane running away with this thing, 2 laps to go. Now we got a question. These guys came in on lap 24 to pit. That is roughly 8 or 9 laps, depending on how you see the lap count, coming on in. But if we have a green-white checkered finish, these guys are screwed on fuel. They will not be able to make it to the end because they'll already probably be running out of fuel on that last lap coming on around. Sam Picard's going to come on in, and that's going to be nice. Porta and Eves are in. We were just talking about Eves, but that means these guys all pit together. Will the race leaders have enough? This could be an Auto Club Truck situation all over again if we go green to the end. But Eves on pit road. Porta's on pit road. Casey Mears, that whole group's on pit road. A ton of drivers down. And these guys back here, Foster, Smart, could they be the ones possibly winning this race if these guys all have to pit up in front?
This is not a track at all that you want to run out of fuel on. Probably the longest track on the calendar, 4.048 miles. You run out of fuel when you pass that pit lane, you are not making it back. So, gonna have to risk it here. Can they make it? Just 2 laps left.
Here's the race coming off pit road. We do not want to see an incident coming into turn number 1 again. It could rob us of a great fuel strategy finish as Foster's on the outside of these guys. Looking further back now as they all come on down. Matty Porta, I believe, was the first driver off and even beating Cody Smart. I don't know if you're going tires here, but you definitely are going for fuel. It's not going to really matter now. Porta, though, the driver out in front. Cody Smart might have gotten in an incident. I thought he was closing in on him, but Matty Porta leads this group. Casey Mears, the second car that came down pit road. 5 cars left who haven't pit. Lane, Yepes, Edson, Neal, and Jay Jefferson right now sits 5th.
Here we go. As the leaders work the backside of the circuit, how will they fare? Can they make it? Colton Lane, what a drive it would be for him. Diego Yepes, what regret making him full-time for that. Yepes would not have any regrets winning this race either. As they come through Canada Corner, can Colton Lane hang on in that 0-5? He's got such a big lead.
If they see the white flag, they could make it to the end on fuel. However, they have to not pit this time by to have a chance at it. If we see the white flag, there is not going to be a green-white checkered finish opportunity. Lane coming on around. He is gumming on by. He's going to stay out. Do they have enough fuel? I don't think you'd pit on this last lap, and you'd rather run out instead of giving up a race win. But the top 5 stay right together. Jefferson there as well, but Colton Lane receives the white flag here at Road America.
They got to try it. They got to try it. Why not? There's no point of pitting, throwing your race away because somebody else you know would stay out. So they all stay out, and they're going to go for it. Can Colton Lane do it? He's got a beat-up back end in that 0-5. It would be a big day for Chevy to get a win here.
One driver we got to point out, Jay Jefferson, playing all that strategy, had a issue on a restart, a flat tire early in this race. He's right now 5th in this beat-up Coors Light 48, but we are watching Colton Lane. Everyone behind Jefferson, we know, can make it to the end on fuel. If these guys run out on this back half of the lap around the carousel, the kink, that could be big, and we'd be watching Porta and Mears 34 seconds back trying to catch on up. But Yepes there in 2nd. He could be caught by Edson in 3rd, but there's no way Lane loses this race. If he makes it through the carousel and the fuel holds up, he is home free.
Here comes Colton Lane trying to do it in the Sundrop Cup Series. Yepes is behind his boss, watching on. Edson back there. They're going to be too far back. They're going to have to see if there will be a mistake.
Coming through the carousel, he's going to keep it nice and conservative. Don't try to go run that outside line. It could cost you. These top 5 are going to finish top 5 as long as they make it back around. Colton Lane in through the kink. Will the fuel hold up? Just a few more corners to go as he heads down the kettle bottoms into the Canada corner.
Seen issues in Canada corner for the race leaders on the last lap and other series here before. Will it happen to Lane? And I don't know. Here we come. 3 more corners left for the Vornado 05.
And here we go. Just a few left-right moves left. Yepes too far back in second. Edson, Neal, and Jefferson, the fuel's going to hold up for just 5 drivers at the end. But Colton Lane, this is the statement he wants to give. He wants to make the chase this year, go full-time in the Cup Series, and defend a championship this year. He's going to come across the line. Colton Lane in the 05 wins the Menards 300 at Road America. Yepes across second. Edson third. Neal will be fourth, and Jay Jefferson most likely fifth. But it's all Colton Lane out in front. The fuel holds up for the 05 team.
Yeah, Boss Man Diego there in second. Good run for him. I mean, you got to think about some of these other guys up here. Tim Foster had that race. Nearly lost it there. Matty Porta started on pole. Got Casey Mears possibly trying to get a top 10. Cody Smart, fuel didn't work out. He's still going to get a top 10. Tim Foster, like I said, threw away the race in turn 5 earlier. Still comes home a top 10. Still a good day for Tim. Maybe his luck will finally turn around, but we'll have to see. Such a wild, wild race. Wild, wild weekend. So many storylines coming out of it. What a weekend.
Road America, a chaotic race. You see Colton Lane. It looks like he might be out of fuel, and it looks like just one more lap for everyone, and they would have been out. Yepes and Edson getting out of there. Neal looks like he's out now. Jefferson coasting his way down. So these guys really stretched it to the end. They're not going to be able to get to the line. Monster Motorsports most likely going to rush some fuel out to that 05 so he can go celebrate here at Road America after that. But Colton Lane going to come out, was not going to be a full-time driver this year, ran strong in the opening races, was high in the points, and it's going to pay off for him. He gets to sit in Road America victory lane here after the Menards 300, the longest race in NSDCA history. This is going to be a long one here to watch, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Some chaos around here, but some road course racing. Classic road course racing and fuel strategy ends this race.
Well, fans up here in turn 6 are going to get a show. Got a big parking lot going on with everybody running out of fuel, but Colton Lane, just an incredible drive. The gamble paid off for him, and we've seen just some crazy action at Road America. That's why the fans love this track. It's just, who knows? Who knows what will happen next year? It might be even crazier. We'll just have to wait and see. But next week, the Cup Series will roll into Richmond, I believe, for the Goodies 400.
Fun to see Richmond. Richmond will be kicking off the first time in NSDCA history. We have 2 of the same venue on the schedule this year. We will head to Richmond later on in the chase, but we do have a Richmond short track race because the fans love to watch some Richmond and Iowa, I believe, both of them possibly up for 2 dates this year, but we will head to the first Richmond event next week here in the Cup Series. A crazy, chaotic race weekend. This is probably one of the craziest of the weekend, but the MDCS, CRTS, SDCS all put on some great shows for the drivers here at the road courses. Road course racing, always chaotic here in the NSDCA, and we are just happy that this race has ended with some strong drivers up front. Colton Lane, Diego Yepes, and Jacob Edson really showing some speed there. Jefferson 5th, Neal 4th. Those guys with the fuel lasting at the end get them a top 5 run. Porta, Mears, Smart, Murray, and Foster, your top 10. A lot of drivers were torn up in this one. A lot of cars damaged up. The owners are going to be talking to the NSDCA all week long until we head to Richmond about these damages here. But the NSDCA hopefully has a package up for them for some relief from all the carnage we saw at Road America. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Menards 300, a great race. And of course, for Peter and myself, we will see you guys next time on the NSDCA.
And here we come back to the action here in the Menards